YouTube? It's T-Money. Today we're going to be doing the NHL 19 playoff simulation for the 2018-19 Stanley Cup playoffs. Yes, I know it's a day late because the playoffs actually started tonight, or I should say last night. So the series that are already played are the Islanders, the Blue Jackets, or the Islanders Penguins series, the Islanders Jacket, or not the Islanders, the Jackets and Lightning, Blues, Jets, Stars, Predators, and Knights and Sharks. So all those series have already played on Sharks, Predators, Blues, Blue Jackets, and Islanders are all up 1-0 over their respective opponents. So I'm going to try and make that as accurate as possible. If not, we're just going to go with what NHL predicts. So this is exactly how it is. The top teams have home ice advantage. I think Tampa Bay has the home ice advantage throughout the entire playoffs. So yeah, let's just figure out who's gonna win the Stanley Cup. I've already seen one simulation and it says Pittsburgh wins it all. But let's see what my simulation predicts. Okay, so we're only gonna do simulations of each game. So there's the playoff bracket right there. So Calgary hosts game 1 of their respective rounds. This game actually is going to happen on day 2 of the playoffs, which would actually be today, which is April 11th, as the time of the recording, or the day of the recording. It's actually, if anyone wants to know, it's actually 1 o'clock in the morning as I'm doing this, because it's the only time I'm able to do my videos now. I'm gonna try to get back to more videos, so just bear with me. I'm gonna try to go full time, but I'm not gonna be able to with the situation that I'm currently in. But yeah. Anyway, let's move on. So Colorado, Calgary. Who wins this one? Colorado goes up 1-0 over the Calgary Flames, who are the Pacific Division champions and actually champions of the Western Conference. So, and that was a 1-0 final. I believe. Hold on, let's go look. Let's go look at this real quick. Oh shoot. Yeah, I believe that was a no, 2-0 final. Okay, it was a 2-0 final. Okay, so yeah. Oh, I actually like that bracket. That's really cool. And I wonder if the Stanley Cup final, or the Stanley Cup champion, actually is colored in the background. We'll find out at the end of this video. Alright, Nashville, Dallas. Oh, please say that Dallas wins game 1. Nashville wins game 1. Okay, so Dallas won game 1 in real life. But in this game, they say Nashville wins game 1. Okay, Columbus won game 1 of this series. This is the first series in the East. Now, we do the simulation, and they're going to get that prediction right. Okay, this series starts today at the time of the recording. Carolina versus Washington. Now in my bracket, I'm going to pull that up real quick. I got a picture of it. I believe I have Washington losing. I'm not 100% sure. But let's find out. Oh shoot, wrong picture. I have Washington going all the way to the conference finals, actually. So in my bracket, I have Calgary over Colorado, San Jose over Vegas, Nashville over Dallas, and then St. Louis over Winnipeg in round 1. And in the East, I have Tampa Bay over Columbus, which I may actually completely regret that pick because Columbus actually looked like a pretty good team tonight. I have Boston over Toronto, which that's coming up too. And then I have Washington winning over Carolina, and I have the Islanders over in Pittsburgh, which those are my predictions for round one. Alright, let's continue the simulation. Carolina, Washington, and this is gonna have Carolina winning game number one. Now, San Jose won game one of this year's first round. And the verdict goes to San Jose winning game one. Okay. St. Louis, Winnipeg. Now, this game also happened. St. Louis won game one. And is that going to be true? No. Winnipeg wins game one. But then again, all the first round is not done yet. We still have, I think, four more. No, we had 5 games. So we still have 3 more games to complete until game one is completely finished for the first round. Alright, so Toronto, Boston, the third time these two teams meet in the past couple of years, with the last year being a victory for the Boston Bruins in 7 games. Who will take game one in this one? Advantage Boston Bruins. Now, this series also got kicked off last night between the Pittsburgh Penguins and the New York Islanders. The Islanders won this game in overtime. Final score 4-3. Will that also be true? No, Pittsburgh takes game one. Okay, now we're back to Colorado, Calgary. Calgary with a 1-0 series lead. Make it a 1-1 series tie. But then again, we don't know. Calgary actually is a really good team. I actually have San Jose going out in the second round to Calgary in my bracket. And I'm a Sharks fan saying that, so I'm kind of bummed to saying that. But then again, you never know. A little magic could come here or there. Nashville, Dallas, game 2 goes to Dallas. So that series goes to 1-1. Columbus and Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay, the President's Trophy winning team, who actually scored 14 goals on the Columbus Blue Jackets. Actually, let me go look at stats here real quick. The Columbus Blue Jackets 3-2 was the final score of game 1. Funny thing, the final score of the game in real life was 4-3. Look, just taking a look at some other stats. It looks like that. Let's sort this by power play real quick because other way. There we go. Dallas has the best power play so far to start. Alright. Let's go back here and let's continue simulating. And that series goes to tie, so the President's Trophy winning team just allows the first game in Tampa. Alrighty, now for the first game in Carolina, or for the second game in Washington. Will the Carolina Hurricanes take a 2-0 series lead going to home? Will there be a storm surge? No, there won't. Well, that's on the road, so it really doesn't matter. But this game predicts that Carolina and Washington will go back to Carolina with a 1-1 series tie. That's a high possibility. Now, San Jose and LA and the Las Vegas Golden Knights. San Jose, if they can score more than 2 goals, actually they allow less than 2 goals in a game, they are actually undefeated all season. How many goals did they allow in their first game against? They only allowed 1. So they only allowed 1 goal in their first game, which is actually pretty good. Okay, how many goals will they allow in the second game? Simulate. Oh, it's a series tie now. Let's go look. How many did they force? They allowed 5 goals. They allowed 5 goals. The final score of that game was 5-1. Holy crap. Jesus. Okay. This is actually becoming a little bit more fascinating. So every series so far will not go 4 games. Each game will at least, each series will at least go 5 games. Will this series go 4 games? Winnipeg and St. Louis. Ew, it's looking like it. Winnipeg takes a 2-0 series lead going back to St. Louis. Interesting. Now, Toronto, Boston. How will this series play out? 1-1. How many goals have Boston led by? It was 3-2, or 4-1, or 5-0 for both games. That's interesting. So Toronto putting up the good fight. I actually expect that game to go the distance. 7 games. Alrighty. Next up, Pittsburgh, New York. How will this series play out? So far, it's looking like Pittsburgh is going to be the overall team leader. Actually, they lead the league and they lead in stats right now. Yeah, Islanders and Blues have yet to win a game. Goals forced 8-4. Goals against. San Jose has allowed 7. Yeah. Dallas has allowed 7 goals, and they've only forced 6. And that series is tied at 1. Just be aware of that. Alrighty, game 3s now. Who will take the 2-1 series lead? It's gonna go to Colorado. Interesting. 2-1 series lead to Nashville. Okay, let's start speeding this up a little bit. Tampa Bay. Columbus takes a 2-1 series lead. Be aware that Columbus is the wild card. Carolina takes a 2-0 series lead. They're also the wild card over the defending Stanley Cup champions. San Jose reclaims a 2-1 series lead. San Jose, they only scored 1 goal. So that was only a 1-0 game. So Martin Jones with the shutout in that game. Nice. Winnipeg, St. Louis. St. Louis does need a win, and they're not gonna get it. So the Winnipeg Jets take a chokehold on the series. It is a 3-0 series lead in St. Louis. They need the win. How many goals has St. Louis let by? They have let by 13 goals. So St. Louis, you need I think Jake Allen's in goal. That's probably why. Boston takes a 2-1 series lead, and Islanders put themselves back in the series. With the 2-1. Okay, I can't look at individual game stats. I'm right. That's right. Oh, I might be able to. Hold on. Never mind. Again, it's 1 o'clock. It's almost 1:30, so it's a little late for me. And I have a baseball game to go to today, if it's not raining, which it most likely won't be. Anyway, Calgary, Colorado. Colorado with a 2-1 series lead, and they're going to tie the series. Calgary will. Alrighty, Nashville, Dallas. Dallas needs a win to make it the best 2 out of 3, and they will. It's now a best 2 out of 3 for that series. Columbus, they could take a strokehold, and it's in Columbus. Will that happen? No, it won't. 2-2 series tie. Carolina, Washington. Can Carolina take a 3-1 series lead? No, it was a 2-2 tie as well. San Jose, Vegas. Will San Jose take the 3-1 lead? No, Vegas ties it. And now, the question that we've been asking. Will St. Louis go out in round number 1? The answer is no. They live to fight another day. No sweeps in round 1. I wish I simulated that game. Okay, every elimination game will actually full sim. So when we come around to the Winnipeg St. Louis series again, we'll actually do the simulation, which will be this option, which we actually can see how that series goes. Boston, Toronto. Can Boston take a chokehold on the series with a 3-1 lead? No, they won't. That's the third. That's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th, 6th time that has happened. For the 7th time. Will Pittsburgh take a 2-1, 3-1 series lead? Answer: nope. Oh, they do. So we have an elimination game in Pittsburgh. Actually, no, in Nassau Coliseum. Calgary, Colorado. Who is gonna take it? Will be Colorado. So we'll come around and we'll simulate that series. Dallas, Nashville. Who will take that game? Dallas takes a 3-2 lead. Columbus, Tampa. Who takes the 3-2 lead? Tampa takes its first lead of the series. Washington, Carolina. Both teams have had a series lead, and Washington reclaims it. Vegas, San Jose. San Jose has had the lead both times, and they're going to reclaim it. Now, back in Winnipeg, let's simulate game number 5. We only want goals. First period, and it's a 3-1 lead for Winnipeg. Kevin O'Reilly, the lone goal scorer, Patty Laine, and Kevin Hayes. And Ben Tanev for the Jets. Second period. Ooh, 2 more goals scored. Oh, this game's over. 5-1. And Bennington is starting. Bennington started. Interesting. Third period. Game series over. The St. Louis Blues outed in round number 1 by a final score of 7-2. Now, who will take the series lead in this one? It'll go to Boston. And now we're in Nassau Coliseum. Who will take this series? It's going to be a good one. Sidney Crosby won the opening face-off. First period, but the Islanders strike first blood in game number 5. Second period, Pittsburgh come back with Chris Letang. Let's do this simulation now. Oh, the Islanders up 2-1 now. Will they force game number 6? Power play for Pittsburgh doesn't go. 9 minutes, 8 minutes, 7, 6 minutes, 5 minutes. Pittsburgh needs a goal right now. Out shooting the Islanders, and they're not gonna do it. The New York Islanders force game 6 and live to fight another day. Now we're back in Colorado. Will the Colorado Avalanche clinch the next round? Let's find out. First period, the tied 1-1. Nathan McKinnon for the Avalanche and Johnny Hockey for the Calgary Flames. Second period, Ryan Anderson on Semyon Varlamov. It's a 2-1 lead. Will the Calgary Flames force a game 7? Third period. No, Colorado wins the series. Tyson Barrie with a game winner. So Colorado says goodbye to Calgary. Interesting. Nashville, Dallas. Who will take this one? We're just gonna do a simulation of periods. Alright, first period, 2-1 Nashville. Second period, 2-2. Third period, and Dallas clinches. They will face Winnipeg in round number 2. Tampa Bay, will they move on? First period, 1-1. Second period, 2-1 Tampa. Third period, we're going to overtime. Regular simulation in overtime. Who is gonna move on? This game is in Columbus. Will the Jackets force game number 7? 7 minutes, 6 minutes. No events happening in the first overtime. And we'll pause the simulation there. Tampa on the power play. Will the power play come through? No, Columbus on the power play, and they score! Fire the cannon! Matt Duchene wins it in overtime. Matt Duchene wins it in overtime. And so game 7 will happen. Carolina, Washington. Will Washington clinch? Let's just simulate that one. Washington does move on and to continue to defend their Stanley Cup. Vegas facing elimination for the second time in their franchise history. Will they be outed by the same team that they outed in the third round or the second round of the Stanley Cup playoffs and last year? And they do. San Jose moves on to take on Colorado in round number 2. Boston, Toronto. Who moves on there? No one. That will go to game 7. Pittsburgh Islanders. Pittsburgh and the New York Islanders. Will this game go to 7? It does. So now we have 3 game 7s. Simulation time. First period, 1-0 Tampa. Second period, 5 goals scored, 3-3. Third period underway in Tampa Bay, Florida. Who's gonna move on with the president? Ooh, power play for Columbus doesn't do anything. Power play for Tampa doesn't go anywhere. Bjorkstad scores for Columbus. Tampa Bay ties it. And we're going to overtime. Who is going to win the overtime session? Here we go. To move on in the Stanley Cup final or the Stanley Cup playoffs. And Bjorkstad Strand wins it for the Columbus Blue Jackets. They win their first ever Stanley Cup playoff series. And it's against the President's Trophy winning Tampa Bay Lightning. Oh my goodness, what an outcome. And now they'll have to take on the team that outed them last year, the Washington Capitals. Toronto, Boston. Who will win this one? Let's just simulate this one. Toronto faces off the Demons. Will the Islanders pull off the reverse sweep? This one is good. This one's one to watch. First period. 1-0 Washington Island, New York. Second period, 2-0 New York. The reverse sweep on the line, and it happens. The reverse sweep of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Congratulations, Pittsburgh. Yeah, I'm fucked up again. Second round matchups. The San Jose Sharks and the Colorado Avalanche. Jets and Stars. Leafs and Jackets. Capitals and Islanders. Game 1 goes to San Jose. Game 1 goes to the Winnipeg Jets. Game 1 goes to the Jackets. Game 1 goes to the Islanders. So the home team has had domination. Game 2 goes to Colorado. Game 2 goes to Winnipeg. Game 2 goes to Columbus. Game 2 goes to New York. Oh no, Toronto plays Columbus. Excuse me. Game 3, it wins by San Jose. Dallas gives Winnipeg their second loss. I need some water. Holy crap. I'm gonna take this off for a second. Okay, maybe you can still hear me here. Because I just really need to take this off. There we go. Okay, where are we at? Game 3. Right? Yeah, game 3. Oh, whoops. Yeah, okay, so there's the playoff series so far. Game 3 goes to the Jackets. The Blue Jackets have a 3-0 series lead on the Toronto Maple Leafs. The New York Islanders have a stranglehold on their series too. The Capitals, the defending Stanley Cup champions, in a threshold. We might have an odd Stanley Cup Eastern Conference final here. San Jose has a 3-1 series lead. It's looking like it's going to be a Jets and Sharks Western Conference final. But will Dallas put a fork in that? No, they don't. Not yet. 3-1 lead. And both those series are actually going back to Winnipeg and San Jose. Game 4. Will the Jackets actually force the sweep? First period, 1-1. Second period, 2-2. Third period, overtime hockey in Columbus. Will the Leafs get out of this? That was a long penalty. Another power play. Doesn't go for anything. Another power play. Doesn't go for anything. And the Jackets, despite letting by 3 power plays, one of them being a double minor, so actually 4 power plays, sweep the Toronto Maple Leafs. Oh my god. The Islanders, will they sweep the defending Stanley Cup champion Washington Capitals? First period, 2-2. Back and forth hockey. Second period, a stranglehold going into game period number 3, and the Islanders sweep the defending Stanley Cup champion Washington Capitals. The San Jose Sharks cannot secure the series. The Winnipeg Jets secure the series. So, the Winnipeg Jets, let's go look at stats here for a second. Winnipeg forced 35 goals. San Jose has only forced 22 of their 21. Put those stats against each other, the odds are not in the Sharks' favor for Western Conference champions. But then again, you never know. And the Sharks do move on, and the Winnipeg Jets will take on the San Jose Sharks in the Western Conference Finals. In the Eastern Conference Finals, we have the Islanders and the Blue Jackets, who are coming off sweeps. So who will lose their first game in the last 4 games? But first, this series, the Sharks, will they take game 1? They do. San Jose wins game 1 in Winnipeg. Who will win game 1? The Columbus Blue Jackets win game number 1. Oh my goodness. The two teams that obviously will probably not make the Eastern Conference Finals are facing off against each other. Game 2. And Winnipeg does strike back. The Islanders don't strike back, and the Columbus Blue Jackets are 2 games away from their first ever Eastern Conference Championship. Oh my gosh. This is all EA right here. And Winnipeg does take a 2-1 lead though. Islanders says no dice. San Jose forces game number 5. And the Columbus Blue Jackets, oh my god, have a record of 11-4. The Sharks have a chance to go to their second Stanley Cup final. I swear to God, the next words I'm about to say are improbable. The Columbus Blue Jackets are Eastern Conference champions. And will the San Jose Sharks eliminate the best record-wise team in the entire Western Conference? No. Game 7. Back in Winnipeg, and the San Jose Sharks and Columbus Blue Jackets are in the Stanley Cup final. What? What do my eyes see before me? What? Alright, since we're in the Stanley Cup Finals, let's do regular simulation. First period, Columbus 1-0. Second period, 2-1 Columbus. Third period, overtime hockey. Overtime, Columbus takes a 1-0 series lead. Oh my god, I never thought I'd say this, but Columbus might win their first Stanley Cup. Second game. First period, Columbus takes a 2-0 lead. I meant first period. Second period, 4-0. Third period, and that's the game. San Jose doesn't score a goal in their second home game. Oh, I didn't mean to hit that one. And the Columbus Blue Jackets, I never thought I'd say this, might win their first ever Stanley Cup championship. First period, San Jose Jose has something else to say. Lucas Rodil makes it 1-1. 2-2. 3-3. So the Columbus Blue Jackets might win the first Stanley Cup in their existence. I'm being silent. On power play, and it's over. San Jose lives to fight another day. Logan Couture says good night from Columbus. Hello, San Jose Ice. They force Game 5. Oh my goodness. First period. Ooh, San Jose, Timo Meier gets the goal scoring off early. But then Columbus comes back with 2 goals of their own. 3-1, and the Columbus Blue Jackets. I never thought I'd say this in this entire simulation, but the Columbus Blue Jackets have won the Stanley Cup. Of all simulations that you would think would happen, I bet you this is the first that Columbus that says Columbus pulls off a miracle after just barely making the playoffs and 4-1s the San Jose Sharks in the Stanley Cup playoffs. My God. Well, that's EA's prediction on my behalf. So the Columbus Blue Jackets are gonna pull off a miracle and win the Stanley Cup. That's not my prediction. I have Tampa Bay winning it. But that's an odd one. So from now, T-Money signing off, and your Stanley Cup NHL 19 champions, Columbus Blue Jackets, in Columbus. I should mention that. They won in Columbus. So yeah, until next time.